Hello members, we are going to talk about the SDGs, and this video, when you want information, you can follow the link that is being showed. And these are our objectives for this video. We are going to talk about what SDG is or stands for. Then also we are going to talk about the introduction and explain each SDG and reason why it was put in place. So when you talk about SDG, stands for Sustainable Development Goals. And some brief introduction with this, we are saying this is a UN initiative officially known as Transforming Our World, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, and this is a set of 17 aspirational global goals with 169 targets between them. So if you have been following, we first talked about the Millennium Development Goals, and this video now comes in to replace the Millennium Development Goals when it was being revealed when the summit sat. They realized that there was some changes that were needed. So this was spearheaded by the UN. As we have said, it's a UN initiative, and it involved 194 member states. And previously, there were 187, but this time the number had increased. Goals are contained in paragraph 54, UN Revolution of 25th of September 2015. This is when they set successor to MDGs. As I've told you that Sustainable Development Goals were the ones which replaced the Millennium Development Goals, built on a principle agreed upon under the resolution known as Future We Want. This was a principle they were using, and the Secretary for UN is Ban Ki-moon, or was Ban Ki-moon at that point when they were discussing the Sustainable Development Goals. Friends, that is the brief introduction about the Sustainable Development Goals. And at this time, we are going to see what each goal is. And the first goal is no poverty. So when you talk about this Sustainable Development Goal, which talks about no poverty, it was saying end poverty in all its forms everywhere. At least each individual should earn US $1.25 per day. Poverty is more than lack of income or resources. When we say someone is poor, we may not necessarily be counting the money, but it is something that is beyond having money. Someone will be poor spiritually, economically, socially, emotionally, and many other ways. So we are saying at least per day, each individual can earn something in addition to having other parts or the dimensions of health. That is the first Sustainable Development Goal, which says no poverty. The second is zero hunger. End hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture. It was targeting that no hunger should be there by the year 2030. And remember, we are still with these goals. We are in 2023. Now, until 2030, that's when UN will think of sitting again to put some changes on these goals. Goal number 3 is good health and well-being. And when we talk about good health and well-being, here we are saying ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages by increasing life expectancy and reducing some of the common killers associated with child and maternal mortality. In other words, each person should have good health and he should be in a position to move on without any disturbance. Then quality education, which is our sustainable development goal number 4. Here we are saying ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all, meaning that all sexes, the boy child, the girl child, all should receive equitable quality education. And that's why you see when there is primary, universal primary education and universal secondary education, this is put in place to see that this goal can be achieved. Then there is gender equality, and this one was saying achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls, equal access to education, healthy care, decent work, and representation in political and economic decision-making process. And that's why you see every person is debating that let a girl child receive education, let a girl child receive whatever is required. This is because there is this point of gender equality. Girl child was being neglected. In this sustainable development goal, girl child was supposed to be empowered. Then we are talking about goal number 6, which is clean water and sanitation. And this talks about ensuring availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Let each individual receive clean water and let each individual live in a good environment. Then we talk about goal number 7, which is affordable energy, affordable and clean energy. And we are saying ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. That's why you see electricity, that's why you see gas cookers, to see that there is affordable and clean energy. And remember, this is still ongoing. Then goal number 8, which is decent work and economic growth. And when you talk about this goal, it was saying promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. Let someone grow economically and let people get productive employment. And that's why we see government recruiting people, private institutions recruiting people, and ensuring that there is occupational safety and healthy laws so that each person gets decent work and grows economically. We talk about sustainable goal number 9, which is in industry, innovation, and infrastructure. And we are saying build resilience or build strong infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. To innovate is to come up with something new, to start up something that has not been in existence, or to modify what has been there in a best way. So we are saying build strong infrastructure, which these people are going to use to now get products, which industries are going to utilize the raw materials that are locally available. Goal number 10 is reduce inequalities, and this one goes to income. Reduce income inequalities within and among countries. World Bank giving out money to support these goals, but giving some countries more than others, or already developed countries receiving more money than the developing countries. So they were saying, let us reduce these inequalities so that we can share either equally or according to the burden in each country that is part of the UN. Then goal number 11, which is sustainable cities and communities. And this was saying, make cities and human settlement inclusive, safe, and resilient and sustainable. In other words, make cities and human settlement inclusive, safe, strong, and sustainable. Let people don't live in misery, in dirty environments, in areas where they cannot get social services. Build strong cities and people should access them. That's why our country like Uganda here of having very many cities. But the point of being sustainable, may not be there, but we are saying these goals are still ongoing up to the year 2030. That's when we can get the feedback whether we have achieved all the sustainable development goals or not. Goal number 12, responsible consumption and production. This talks about ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. Let us produce the food, but let us also utilize it wisely. Let us ensure there is responsible production. We should not lack and we should not have too much that is going to be a waste. Then we talk about climate action. Take urgent action to combat climate change and its impact by regulating emissions and promoting development in renewable energy. And that's why here we plant trees. We see that cut one tree, plant more, because there is climate change or climate action. We are seeing that there should be no global warming because we want a climate to be maintained as it should be suitable for human settlement. Life below water. Conserve and sustainably use the ocean, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. Some people are moving in areas of Uganda, you find fisheries. They are telling you, please don't carry fish which is less than these centimeters. This is to reinforce this global goal, life below water. We should not destroy our seas, our oceans, our marine resources. Life on land, which is sustainable goal 15, protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystem, sustainably manage forests, combat desertification. And here we are seeing that let us protect our land. Let us not lose what is on our land. Let us make sure that it is conserved. No, the animals that are on land are protected and we live having them because they are so important to us. That is life on land. Second last goal, which is goal number 16, peace, justice, and strong institution. And this goal says promote peaceful and inclusive society for sustainable development, provide access to justice for all, build effectiveness, accountable and inclusive institution. There should be peace, there should be justice, which is fairness, and we should have strong institutions. We have strong army, strong schools, strong hospitals, which you can use as citizens. The last goal is partnership for the goals. Strengthen the means of implementation and revitalize the global partnership for sustainable development. Where we say that let us make those strong bonds so that we can come together and help each other to develop our world. These have been the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Goal number 1, no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industrial innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institution, partnership for the goals. These are the 17 sustainable development goals that we should put into memory, and we should see that they are achieved by the year 2030. Thank you for listening.